With Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out later on this month, I'm continuing my Godzilla reviews with the second installment of America Somehow Fucks Up Godzilla, and that's Godzilla 1998. Before I go on, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that share button, and if you're new here, smash that subscribe button so you can watch more reviews like this one, and give a little tap to the gray bell icon for notifications on my latest uploads. Back to the review. Godzilla, or Godzilla 1998 as I like to call it, is about Matthew Broderick and pals, and they see there's Godzilla and they need to stop him. I'm oversimplifying the plot, but really there's not much to this film to begin with. This movie was directed by Roland Emmerich, the same guy who directed Independence Day, which features a lot of fantastic pyrotechnic effects. But also like Independence Day, this also has a lot of hokey dialogue and storytelling. But unlike Independence Day, where you have Will Smith, a guy who's so charming that he can make even the dumbest lines sound actually plausible, instead, we have Matthew Broderick. Granted, it's probably the writing and stuff, because, oh my god, the writing in this movie. What the hell? Because he has relationship issues with his ex-girlfriend in this movie, who's working for a news station, and any plot thread involving her is so dumb. I will say, the buildup of this movie is really good. Like, the opening credits of this movie are actually a really clever way to explain the origins of Godzilla, and not take up too much screen time. I think that's honestly one of the best aspects of this movie. And also, there's this one scene in the beginning where there's like a fishing boat, like a Japanese fishing boat, and again, it's done really well. The build-up for this is so cool. And the entire first act of this movie is all about the build-up of Godzilla. It's like, wow, what's Godzilla gonna look like? And... wow. That's what Godzilla looks like. Now granted, I don't think this is a design issue. In all honesty, I like the design they have for this version of Godzilla. It's pretty different, yeah, but I can still tell that's Godzilla. The problem is the CGI. Yeah, whenever they blow up buildings in this movie, the visual effects are actually really cool. But whenever we focus on this Godzilla, the visual effects are absolutely atrocious. I also find it funny that in this movie, like, whenever Matthew Broderick, who is like a radioactive biologist or something, I don't know, he studies radiation, and he's basically the lead scientist in this whole investigation over Godzilla. Like, for example, when he finds out that Godzilla is pregnant, which for some reason they still call it a male, but it's like, no, if it, like, yeah, even if it's asexual, it's still female. So that just always bugged me, but whatever. But the weird thing is, like, whenever he makes a discovery about this creature, and he reports it to the government, they just go, no, whatever, and they don't listen to him. I'm like, you idiots, you hired him for a reason. You hired him to figure out what this creature is and what it's able to do, and you're not gonna listen to him? Like, that is beyond stupid. Also, I'm not even against the whole idea of making Godzilla female, even though they call it a male, and having her be pregnant and laying eggs. That concept is really good, but if you follow the path of this movie, you know that it ends up being completely underwhelming. And for some reason, there are these two characters in the film that are supposed to parody Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, who, if you don't know who they are, they were probably the most well-beloved film critics of all time. Oh, that's because they didn't give good reviews to Stargate and Independence Day, which were also movies directed by Roland Emmerich, and this was sort of a way at getting back at them. Which, again, it's so lame, because, like, you're not even doing anything with them. Like, even Gene Siskel said something along the lines of, if you're really gonna parody us in your movie, why don't you have the monster eat us or something? They can't even make fun of people correctly in this movie. Which, even then, why are you trying to make fun of critics who didn't like your movies? That's not gonna go anywhere. It's sort of like when M. Night Shyamalan had a grumpy old film critic in his movie Lady in the Water. It's like, aha, see, I got you critics back because you didn't like my movies. Oh yeah, hey, I was editing this video and I just remembered another really stupid thing about this movie. Probably one of the dumbest things in this movie. Okay, for some reason, Godzilla can hide in New York City. Yeah, you heard that right. Godzilla can somehow just disappear into the city and no one knows where he is. Like, there's a scene where, like, all the military people are like, how could we miss this thing? Like, where did it go? And then Matthew Broderick's character says, well, it's actually pretty easy for it to hide. You see, unlike any other island in the world, this is a place where this creature could easily hide amongst the buildings. I'm like, bullshit! That is complete bullshit! Yes, there's a lot of buildings, but this is also a city of, at the time, 7 million people. This is the largest city in the United States. You would think at least someone would notice this. Hell, you have to be blind not to notice when this thing's around. Actually, no, you wouldn't even have to be blind, because even a blind person could feel it when this thing is walking. So even blind people would know that this thing is still around, and probably where it is, at least somewhat within the general area. So yeah, oh god, this movie's logic is so dumb. Anyways, back to the rest of the review. So yeah, I don't recommend this movie. Godzilla 1998 is full of some really great build-up, but for one reason or another, they're never able to stick the landing. So, yeah, what do you think of Godzilla 1998? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like. Share the video so we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page, or if you can't do that, then consider supporting me through my PayPal donation button in the description below. And if you want to see more, click this.